Yep, you seen the title in the thumbnail. It don't get no better than steak and potatoes. But you add a little of that garlic butter on it, now you got yourself a real meal. I'm gonna show you guys exactly how to do it. So get in your kitchen, let's go. All right, let's go ahead and get started and do a quick rundown of what we have. So right here we have our potatoes. Now I'm using some red potatoes and some Yukon potatoes just to give it a little different color, but you can use all red potatoes, all Yukon potatoes, or russet potatoes. It really doesn't matter. Here we have our sirloin beef tips. So all I did was, well, I bought these already cut so I didn't have to cut them. They were pretty big, so I did like cut them just a little bit down to bite-sized pieces, but they were typically already chopped up. Some dry onions. I'm gonna use some Texas seasoning from Hunter's. So guys, take a look at this Hunter's Texas seasoning. I'm gonna leave the link to this product in the video description below for you guys to check out. I'm gonna use that to season our meat. Now you can also use garlic powder, salt, pepper. It's totally up to you how you want to season it. Right here we have some salt, we have some beef bouillon seasoning, paprika, some thyme, olive oil, parsley, oregano, some rosemary, and some freshly minced garlic. So that's all you need, guys. Let's get to it. All right, so let's start off by seasoning our potatoes, and we're just gonna use half our olive oil here, along with our salt, our thyme, that rosemary, parsley, and that oregano, and we're gonna add our minced garlic. And we're just gonna go in this with our hands or with a spoon, whichever one works for you. And we're just gonna get this mixed up, get all that seasoning on those potatoes. Just like that. All right, let's go ahead and continue. All right, let's bring over our beef. Pretty much do the same thing. We're gonna get that seasoned. Gonna add the remainder of that olive oil here, along with our beef bouillon, that paprika, some of that Hunter's Texas seasoning, and some dried onions. And we're just gonna go in this with our hands also, get this mixed up. Make sure we get all that seasoning on that meat, massage it in as you go. Guys, take a look at that. Well seasoned, all right? Let's move this aside and head over to our air fryer. All right, to get started, we're gonna preheat our air fryer, guys. We're using our Chefavor. You know I love this air fryer. So we're gonna place this on air fry. We're gonna drop the temperature to 350, and we're gonna get this baby preheated. We're gonna cook this for around 22 minutes. So we're gonna go ahead and get it preheated. Hit play. And once that baby preheats, then we're gonna add our potatoes. All right, so now it's time to add food. As you can see, we're gonna lift our hood up on our fryer, air fryer. I'm gonna spray this with some cooking spray. We're gonna add our potatoes here at the bottom. And that's one thing I like about this Chefavor. Look how big hand is, your air fryer space. I love that. You can almost be able to fit this in a single layer, which is nice. Get all that garlic out of that pan, out of that bowl. Now we're gonna close this up, allow it to cook for 5 minutes, then we're gonna come right back. All right, so we are 5 minutes in. We're going to lift our hood. Now, what we're gonna do is start adding our beef or steaks on top of our potatoes. We're gonna close our hood. We're gonna crank that heat up to 400, and we're gonna let this cook for an additional 10 minutes. Then we're gonna come back, we're gonna stir it up and let it cook for the remaining of the time. All right, so let's go ahead and pause it after the last 10 minutes, or that 10 minutes we just did. We're gonna take a look at what we have. Now, all we're gonna do right here is we're just gonna move these babies around in here, kind of mix it up for the remaining of the time. So for the last 7 minutes, this is optional. Just add you some, like 2 tablespoons of butter to the top, like this, and just let it melt. We're gonna go ahead and close this, and we're gonna finish off the remaining 7 minutes. All right, so we're done. It says get food. You don't have to tell me twice. So let's go ahead and lift our hood. Let's see if we can get a better look at this here. Let's take a look at what we have here. All right, so I'm gonna let this, let's do a quick mix real quick. So I'm gonna close the hood because I wanna make some garlic and herb butter sauce to go with this. So I'm gonna let this sit here, and we're gonna head over to our stove. That way we can get this baby whipped up real quick. All right, so we're gonna heat up a stick of butter, and make sure you have it over low heat. We're gonna add our garlic, and once it melts, we're gonna let it cook for about 2 to 3 minutes. Make sure you keep it on low. You don't want your butter to start to brown. All right, guys, once you start to see it kind of fizzle up like that, you wanna turn your heat off, add your parsley, and get at a mix just like that. All right, so now I'm gonna transfer this over to a measuring cup, and this is what we have. So let's move over to our cutting board to get our steak and potatoes plated up. All right, it's quality control time. Man, take a look at this dish right here. Nothing but steak and potatoes. Hey, this is a man's meal right here, guys, a man's meal. Let's go ahead and try it out. I ain't even got a fork, but who cares? Hey, try these potatoes. These cooked to perfection here. I like all the herbs on it. Guys, now let's try this meat. Oh man, the meat is tender. I'm gonna tell you how you get your meat tender. Typically, when you get these little bitty sirloin tips, the meat is pretty much tough, at least to me, unless you slice it very thinly. What I did was I rubbed it down in some baking soda with a little half cup of water. Let it sit in there for 15 minutes. Rinse it off. That's how to get your meat tender. If you like that, let me know. So until then, guys, definitely need to try this. I'm your cook, Spinelli, all wings, everything. And remember, let's get one more of these potatoes. I'm not a chef, just cook a lot. And now I'm out. Peace.